Good evening. Good morning. Good afternoon. I'm probably going to put a hat on because I know it looks like I have like a Beatles. The Beatles. Does anyone remember the Beatles band? That kind of haircut going on? I call it the helmet stage when I get it, and it's just too hard to focus. But these are my new clothes now. Yup, I do magic with this. No, it's not really magic. This is literally Sedona rock with different minerals and crystals. It's not. This here was barely $2. I had it on backwards this morning. There's a tie in the back. It's like more of like a, this doesn't matter now. I'm coming on because I'm like, if you do this, it's going to be like you're defending a cult leader. I don't think that Chuck Baldwin is a cult leader. Now, I didn't think that Ulmer, Ontario was cult leaders with the Church of God, but our GPS, and I never know if I do the video, but we were like, we're just going to go down there for Easter. We looked all over their websites to see, are they open, are they closed, what's going on, because they're a little bit under fire. My GPS, this is where it gets very bizarre, and I look at the atlas, you're going to be way off track here. Most likely. I might have already did this video, but it took a lot longer to get where we were going to find that nobody was at the headquarters of the Church of God. In Greenville, Ohio. It's almost near Indiana. I mean, we looked and looked, couldn't find nothing. It was like, and I'll be honest, driving up on it, if I didn't already express this, I might have erased it, or I didn't. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going on there. You know me, I don't really like denominations. Any church that's founded by a man, and you're like, well, you go to Chuck Baldwin, he has Liberty Fellowship. But see, it's non-denominational. And maybe they have some outreach programs, but when you go there, hopefully, and I'm pretty sure he doesn't, is he's not going to be like, you're going to become a member, right? We had a lot of churches that way. They wanted you to put your name and pen and paper, and we're like, no, that's not how we learned it in the Bible. And if we're donating, why do we have to put our name on the dotted line? Not to mention, we were asking questions about the doctrine, and it seemed a little washed down. But this is a long story to say. I'm seeing, all of a sudden, I started to see. So, Liberty Fellowship in Kalispell, Montana, has been getting an uprise, and I just have to check here because there is some dust because it's the clay. So he's got an influx of followers, right? And then all of a sudden I start to see people are saying he is some sort of racist psycho that hates Israel. No, he doesn't like war, and he knows there's an unjustified genocide going on. But then this is kind of where you can go like, well, this is what cult followers do, right? No, this is just like a teacher of mine. If it wasn't for this one lady, I might have already turned Buddhist. I mean, I'm not sure exactly, but it was looking pretty dreary. I was not understanding the rapture freaks setting dates, and I'm like, the church is messed up. I visited several churches. They're all messed up. So much sin within the church, promiscuity, affairs, false doctrines. I mean, if she had, I'm sure someone else would have, sent it to me. But I'm just going to take a little break here real quick to see what's going on. I just had to check something there out. Sorry about that. The bugs and stuff are starting up. I know I heard about this locust thing. Now, look, I'm not here to disprove or not disprove or to prove. But when I see like really small segments, and it looks like Middle Eastern stations and some saying that Chuck Baldwin is against Israel and he's some kind of psycho, what you need to do is just go on Chuck Baldwin's site. Chuck Baldwin, Liberty Fellowship, Kalispell, Montana. And I didn't want to do Psalm 10 again. I'm like, no, Holy Spirit, please. Like, we've already did it. And if I'm doing if I'm doing a psalm that says petition of God's judgment, wow, that's really loving, isn't it? So if you know Jesus, no matter how many problems you have, you accepted him and you start to just chip away at the mess. But the fact that you just acknowledge Jesus Christ as the Son of God who came in the flesh, who lived a persecuted life, he died on a cross or tree. There's different, okay. And he died and he rose again and he ascended to heaven. And this is where my last straggler problem was with the evangelical brainwashing. And let me tell you what, when I got saved, I dove deep, okay? And when I dove deep, it meant I was in all these apostolic, evangelic, kind of extreme people. I started to figure out that something was wrong, but I was about 22-ish. But and I still dealt with that, I'm just never gonna be good enough to get to heaven. That's not the situation. There's this one simple code, and the code is you acknowledge his life, his death, the persecution before his death, chased around. I mean, he was literally gang stalked. We had all these gangs are, oh, I'm so gang stalked. Well, we got to kind of cut down on that a little bit, the sense of we need to help each other. Don't kill yourselves. But this stalking and persecution, but it has increased. Let's be honest here. It's increased. It has increased. I mean, it has increased. It has increased. There's actually some really serious accounts of stuff where it's increasing at such a level that, we just gonna take a break real quick. So I don't know if I'm gonna do Psalm 10 again. And I think I'm after 4 or 5 years, I think I'm starting to finally fully figure it out. Is sometimes I did look for signs, but not like that though. Not oh, rapture's near, it's nigh. It was that things do seem to be escalating into some really horrible things. But that's been known to happen too. And then God figures out whatever has to be figured out, and then things kind of settle down for a while. So I'm going to say Psalm 10. If I don't do it tonight, maybe tomorrow. You're literally debating with God. No, I'm not debating with God. I just need to know, is that really what I'm supposed to be doing again? Because, how many times have I done Psalm 10? In the last year. Exactly. Okay. Not here to defend Chuck Baldwin. he definitely found a soft spot, because if it wasn't for him, I was going to keep going on the rapture merry-go-round. Or no, I was off. I was going to go off and I was going to go another religious direction, but I never really could. That's something with me and Jesus is when I finally finally found him, or he found me, and I opened up my heart, and I was about 19, maybe going on 20, but I have to look back at that as, even if I was trying to be Buddhist or something, I'd still be like, oh, Jesus, you and I know something's. Now, the dogs have had dinner, and I think I got Poe's weight in a good space. My weight is not in a good space, but I think we got Poe at a good thing, but he doesn't like it. He doesn't like it. But it's better. It's better than it was. And then Hip, hip is always gonna be problematic. We wouldn't know how to keep him beefed up. Like they were starting to do more fetch activity, and lo and behold, he's like looking like he needs more food. You know what I mean? And Poe's like, I always need more food. And you haven't, and maybe you do need a little more food. Now you guys are exercising more, but you're looking good. You're looking fit. Not me. Not me.